So I had this giant arrow that's been on here the entire month of March. And look, we're almost there. Coming on
Mm-hmm.
down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not rocket surgery.
No, it
Or
is not.
rocket science, but I think you make it very scientific.
Rocket science is pretty like figured out. Rocket surgery, building the rockets, that seems to be where the science where the mastery is. That's why I joke around. It's not rocket surgery. So anyway,
Ooh, let's see. Oh
uh,
yeah, Jeffrey, you're not into basketball, are you? You're not a big basketball guy, right? Not big into sports.
is that a sport?
Yeah, it is a sport. This week is the big dance.
Yeah, yeah. I don't give a flying crap about
Who
sports.
he doesn't give a hoot.
I don't even know why we do sports. So
We do it, it's a form of entertainment.
Yeah.
just like this, right? Except this makes you
Yes.
money. Sports doesn't make
Yes.
you money.
Oh, different kind of entertainment. This is more of a business, I think.
I don't know. I love it. I'm entertained. I make money. I mean, um, you know, I guess
I'm
so. Guess we
entertained.
should start here, though. Guess we should start here. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss, past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. If you want somebody to tell you what to do, there's people for that, but you should be careful if you trade stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, betting markets. You might lose money.
You might make money.
You might make money, but for a long time I lost money. I'm be completely honest with everybody. For years and years and years at this. It was an absolute freaking grind. And I lost money. Um, paid for all my education, so to speak. But now, dun 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 dun. Look at this number today. 87,000.
It is.
87,000 and still got a month to go.
What about the month? How's this month looking?
This month, almost 19 grand. I showed this to my mom last night. She's like, we took my dad out for dinner for his birthday, and my mom was like, "Why are you paying for dinner? Are you doing okay? Are you making money?" I pulled this up and showed her. She's like, "Holy, how are you making that much money in the market?" I
Yeah,
trade for her. I trade for her. I trade for my dad. So I mean, it's she doesn't ever get involved in it really. So, but
stuff.
it's doing pretty good. And then she was like, "Is this just a fluke?" And then I pulled up the 3 month and showed her that, and she's like, "Are you serious right now?" I was like, "Yes, mom. Yes."
She's proud of her son. Proud of
Yeah. So this is average on the 3 months is roughly 15K. So this is ramping up since the 1 month is almost 19,000 right here. And yesterday, a couple of people flaming me for doing a trade in the middle of FOMC, but I kind of made my own audible, so to speak, to throw it into a sports term for people. Uh, you know, I decided halfway through the time there, 219, right before Jerome Powell started speaking, pick up some 20s in the street. Worked out. Made a little bit of scratch. It wasn't much. I was way below the money too. If you look at the strike price down here, 24,260 right there. If we jump over and look at NASDAQ yesterday, dun, 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 NDX at 219 right here. We were hanging out at 600 and I was down here at 290. So significant downside buffer. We did bleed it off a little bit, but didn't get anywhere near my 290. The real fireworks didn't start until after Powell quit talking.
hmm
But like I said yesterday, it was just going to be the excuse to bring the market down, and that's where we're sitting today.
But that resistance, your roadmap is perfect in terms of resistance.
I need to turn this thing off right here.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's on the 1 minute chart too. So that's definitely downward pressure when the 1 minute is acting as resistance. Probably got downside to go. And as I talked about yesterday, coming into the FOMC, we need a lower low than this low we made back at Thanksgiving. This
Mhm.
is that's what we need. It needs to go lower than that low. And this is probably not finished. Probably not finito bandito until we get that right there. Dun, 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 dun.
Quick question for everybody in the crowd. How's everybody doing, first of all? And
We could send a poll out. I'd love to ask a poll.
well, it's not exactly a poll,
Not a
but
poll.
A pole, but not a pole.
A poll, but not a poll.
yeah, Dennis did a bear call spread on IWM. Uh, yeah, $7 credit, 7 cent credit. That's pretty good. So what I wanted to ask everybody is, we can do a poll if you want, but I put out a trade every Tuesday. Is anybody or how many people here are in my Diamond Club? I put out a trade on Tuesday, and in the trade alert, it was AVGO bear call spread where we sold the 330 call and bought the 332.50 call, and on the alert I had the expiration at 320, but in reality the trade I did myself, it expired yesterday. So Joe, if you did that trade, did you get 48 cents net credit on that, or anybody? I got 28, which is good for what I was doing, but I didn't think it expired on the 18th. I thought it was set for the 20th. So I know people that did it on the 20th got way more net credit than I did. I wondered if anybody out here did that. Because if you went by the date that I put on the alert, you made way more. Anyway, weird trade. So I woke up this morning to see that thing expired yesterday. And yesterday, yeah, what a net credit. No kidding. That's huge. I can't even do the math on that in my head, but 48 cents on a $2.50 credit, net credit spread is big. Yeah, 46 cents. Okay, Clyde, that's what I'm talking about. So I got 28 because I picked the wrong expiration, but if I would have gone with the 20th like you did, that would have been one of the biggest net credits I would have had all year. 46. I think somebody picked up. Joe got 65. You see what I'm saying? So just to let you know, I screwed that up. But yeah, that's what that is. You can screw it up and still be right. And then I got put yesterday messing around with that middle of the week strike on the AVGO. I got put a couple hundy at 317.50. So that's that. But yeah, I'm glad you guys really crushed it on that net credit this week. That's going to be one of the biggest ones we ever had.
What are your
And
trend point levels? The 8,
the 23, 54, and 208.
23, 54, and 208. All right,
Yeah.
20,
You look at it,
23,
so
23,
whatever.
54.
Yeah, so if you set that up with those three EMAs and you just click on every stock, you could see on my list, Apple, Amazon, Google, everything is no good. Look at that. That's a good line, man. Look at that blue line, that intermediate term trend point. That's dead on resistance on the way down. But yeah, if you leave that up there and just hit the stocks on the right in your watch list, you'll see that almost everything looks bad except for VRT and WDC. Yeah, look at that. Just flip through the list over there. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, bang. They're all bang. They're all down. Boom. Nothing great about any of this. Look at that. That's down too. Just keep hit everything there. You'll see. This is the state of the market, folks. It's down. Not exact. Whoa, not exactly bearish, but
That one is.
yeah, that's totally bearish. That's embarrassingly bearish. This is going to Nvidia is going to be down lower too. See, we got to cross over to the downside. Uh, all Tesla looks absolutely horrible.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's getting near that 370 I was talking about.
Yeah, shockingly, I cannot believe where it's at. Yeah, this thing still looks bad. Everything looks terrible except for vert. Ooh, that looks really good.
Five below. This is my gainers list. This is things that were up in the pre-market. Look at
Wow.
that thing. Just keeps ripping. That's your kind of
What
that's
did
your kind of pattern.
what did they do?
They're like it's kind of like a step above a dollar store. Kind of a dollar store, kind of not.
Anyway, A-line was one of my old babies. What's A-line doing?
Trying to cross up.
How
Made a
about
bottom.
look at WDC? That's still roaring.
That was pulling back today. WDC.
But I'm just saying in terms of the overall, ooh, look at that trend.
Yep.
That's Jack's kind of stuff right there.
It's actually bouncing on strength, I guess.
Love
Strength
it.
in the midst of weakness.
Love that trend. That's like the only thing I got that's showing a sign of life. Uh, and VRT. Yeah, STX, I own this one too, but I haven't been too hard on it. MU has been still good, even though it's been beat up. Look at that. I'm
S-
all over this.
Sideways at the top.
How about Clack? I own Clack, but I never trade it because
Sideways at the top. It's not crossed over or anything. It's just holding in there.
not looking so good for the bulls out there. Light's looking good. Light looks really good. That's a great credit spread stock. Too pricey for me on a put.
China. Whew.
China.
Crossing down.
What's SCCO? That looks familiar.
Southern Copper.
Well, that's because I own it. They're all getting hurt today.
That
Oh
thing's
my
about to cross.
Sprott. Yeah, Sprott copper's down.
Yeah, I mean, like we're getting this pullback. And Jack, you remember this one I talked about in Florida last month? That it needed a pullback, and then this might be the biggest outperformer
This
later
one,
this year.
this is the only one, if I remember you correctly, that actually has all the palladium to back up.
Yeah. This one, I mean,
Not
and
short. Really need
that's a
to.
beautiful three-wave pullback and bigger term. This one might be I was talking about it in Florida last month that this might be a later in the year outperformer right here because of this pattern. We came up, closed above this 618. Now we're doing a little retrace to the roadmap line. If we can hold in here, we're actually working on that weekly cross. We crossed over on your weekly, on your trend points back here, breaking
That's
through that
a
red
positive
long
sign.
term.
Now, is there any application for palladium or is it like
It's an industrial metal. Like it's a very expensive industrial metal too. So it is, it's kind of like platinum. It's a used as a catalytic metal. Let's see, PA1 exclamation point. Yeah, this stuff's not cheap. This is $1,500 an ounce.
how much of it is left in the dirt?
Let's find out. Let me pull up and ask an
Some of
AI.
that is because some of these rare earth metals aren't really that rare, you know?
Yeah, let's
They
see how
act like
much.
there's nothing left in the ground, but there is. And there's always new ways of getting it out, like oil, right? Fracking that didn't exist before.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, I mean, humans come up with ways, and the solution to high prices in commodities is high prices in commodities. It makes new methods and ways more affordable to do. Let's see, how rare is palladium in the Earth's EAR crust? Let's see what AI has to say. Take a minute. Oh, I brought a wheel report today. Upgraded the bot to a new brain, and it seems to be doing a little better today.
How so? What'd you replace? Pinky in the brain with what?
So a new model AI model came out yesterday called Minimax 2.7.
A new what kind?
And so like, Chat GPT, you've
Sort
heard of
of.
that. You've heard of that. You've heard of Gemini, you've heard of Grok. you've heard these names kind of in the AI space. So Minimax is another kind of brand of it. They came out with version 2.7 yesterday, and
What is it other things don't do?
it specifically was designed to run these agent models and learn. It's like a self-learning model, so it's not just capped off. It can learn as it goes, and so the more you ask it, the more it does, and more it learns. So it's specifically designed around like improving OpenClaw, and so I deployed that yesterday to see if we couldn't learn a little better as we go along instead of keep regressing every day back to,
Mhm.
I'm like, remember this, put it in your files and use it for tomorrow. And then it's like, then the next day I'm like, why didn't you do that? And it goes, oh, well, I just didn't read the files. I'm like, mother fudger, come on.
You ever
And
raise your voice with it?
I, I type in all capitals. I'm
It goes.
like, what the F are you doing? Anyway, um, I do get upset a little bit. And
You can't get
every
upset at this thing. It is you. It doesn't know anything other than what you told it to do.
Yeah, but it forgets what I told it to do. That's what
Doesn't
I
mean
get.
you didn't tell it to remember. It only does what you tell it. It doesn't
I
do it.
told it to remember. I told it has a skill. I was like, "Did you use the skill to do this?" It's like, "No, I did. I completely ignored everything you told me and just made this up today."
A
I'm
way
like,
to
"Well, you
punish it then, huh?
these things are lazy."
Really?
Yeah, they're just as lazy as humans. I swear.
Does it
Uh,
want to do the report for whatever reason?
it just like skips out on doing the reports.
Threaten it.
And let me throw this in the chat.
It'll be like Hal, man, from Space Odyssey. I'm telling you, you get in a fight with this Kraken and it's going to win.
Wait till you see. I bought something yesterday. It probably won't come till September,
It
but
got headstrong.
I'm just gonna tease this out. It's not gonna come till September. I found it on Kickstarter yesterday, and it's you're gonna lose your mind when this thing comes in September.
What is it? What are you talking about?
It's gonna be a little robot that's gonna sit here on my desk and talk to us during the show.
Wow. Let me see it.
It comes in September.
Yeah, you don't want to see it yet, Jeff. Trust me.
Yeah.
I checked it out yesterday when Jeffrey sent it to me, and uh, I think if I got one of those, I don't know what anything would do. She'd probably kick me out.
What,
She'd be like, "You can't have that music. That is a crime." So,
okay,
because
why did it not come out till September?
It's gonna take it a little bit to. This is cutting edge stuff.
yes,
It's gonna have a video screen and a camera and a microphone, and it's gonna sit here and talk to us. You're gonna
mm-hmm.
you're gonna lose your mind, Jack.
What should
And
this
it
thing cost? I'm already losing my mind. What did you have to spend on
I
Daisy?
spent $300 on it.
It sits on the desk. Does it look like, what's it look like? Like a little baby robot, like a
It's
CP?
got a screen with an avatar on it, like
uh-huh,
a
Damn, what's it
and
uh-huh.
for?
what's
And
it what?
is it for entertainment?
No, we're gonna use it for stock trading, dude. You wanted
Mm-hmm.
to be able to talk to Kraken. This will be a new one that we can talk to.
Sweet. No, can it actually do any trades?
We'll find out.
Because I want to get this thing down pat where I could just pretty much be on the boat and
Hey,
I don't have these trades.
if if this thing can't get my freaking daily report done properly, I don't trust it to trade for me yet.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about two different things because Eris does the trading, Kraken's doing the report, right? But Eris hasn't screwed up as bad as Kraken.
uh, I just don't talk about what Eris is doing.
Okay.
We've been working on a project for over a week now that
We don't talk about Bruno, right? That's the smart.
Eris hadn't done anything impressive to talk about, but it's
Well, I have faith in her because I want her to replace me.
it's giving me some crap too, though. So we're getting
Imagine,
there.
just close your eyes and imagine a bot that does this for us.
Yeah, I mean, here's the report for today. It made just a few minutes ago too.
Yeah.
This finished at 11:15. I was like, you're supposed to have this done before the market even opens. What the heck are you doing? And it was like, oh, that's why I upgraded the LLM, as they call it, the large language model behind it.
Follow the Prime directive. Was that what that was, Tim, from Space Odyssey 2001? Was Hal talking about follow the Prime directive? That movie scared me to death. When did that come out?
a long time ago.
We're reliving Hal and the Space Odyssey with this thing. It's going to take over, man. It's going to get away from you. That's my early prediction.
Hey, have you ever seen Idiocracy?
It's going to get inside your cyber truck and then it's over.
So we got some new stuff here today. I don't know about Snap. That seems like a meme stock to me, a little bit, but it is low priced. Got SLB on here. That's a low price. We got Citigroup. We got Adobe on here today. That's definitely been on a pullback. Got DVN, some energy.
That's a good price if you got 5 grand.
We got Dollar Tree on here.
10
Got
grand.
Levi's on here. We got Ford on here.
Levi's for 2 grand, folks.
We've got
Levi's
Oxy,
or
you
about
know,
a grand.
one of Buffett's favorites right here, Oxy, and we got DG, Dollar General, showing up on here.
So it really dialed in the in the RO the annualized.
Yeah, look at that. And it didn't just pick 7 days out. That one went out 2 weeks to get the 37%.
Boy, Ford has really been beat up. Think Ford can go lower?
I mean, it could, but I think they're getting their crap turned around with their
Yeah,
EV plan and stuff like that.
just beat up. Left for dead right now, Ford.
There you go. This is a reasonable report today.
I
So
like it.
keep coming back. We'll keep making these. You know, there's different stuff on here today too. So, you know, beginner tier, SLB, Snap, DVN, Levi, Ford, kind of the intermediate tier, Oxy, just over the 5 grand. Then more advanced, we got Citigroup, DLTR, DG, QCOM, and then the big dog, Adobe right there.
I wouldn't touch that thing.
It's beat down right now, but you know,
Like
it'll
it.
probably come back around. The thing is, it's kind of like nobody wanted to touch Boeing, and then it made a bottom, and now people are starting to talk about it again.
Yeah,
But they'll make the bottom like 6 months before things start sounding better for that company.
yeah. My
Uh,
buddy up in the Northeast Connecticut, he owns a bunch of Boeing, and he was so upset when the bolts are coming off and the doors. And I told him, don't sell it. He's like, I want out of this piece of junk. And he's yelling and screaming. I said, just go back to doing whatever it is you were doing and forget about this thing. And the next time you look at it, it'll all be better. That's just how it goes with some of these. It's a strong company. It's not going to stay down like that forever, but it did look bad.
yeah, I mean, if you can, you know, it's like everything else. You go through, you know, how many people have a great life all the time? Nothing bad ever happens. I mean, you know, companies have bad crap happen. You know, you get a couple bad apples come in. You got to shake things up. You got to get some new management in there. I mean, it's like everything goes that way. And if the stock price never moved down, it'd probably never move up either. And you know, we've got to have these iterations where money flows in and flows out, and that's how you make some money on the triple income. And we got to get the volatility up so we can sell the calls and sell the puts. So, anyway, this thing looks reasonable. I'll
Yeah.
have to get on it a couple times. Things here like it left off the link for the show replay. I'm sure Blake can throw that in the chat. And but there you go. That's today's report.
All right. Download that one, folks. How about we take a look at VZ? I've been
Verizon.
wanting to ask you about this forever, what you think.
Let's check.
So, as you guys may or may not remember, I had a massive position in this sucker and it just went sideways forever. And I was in the mid 30s, and my last purchase was at 39, and I sold the 41s, and I got it called away from me, and it's been adios amigos on the whole batch since then. I haven't been able to get back in. What do you think of that? Too up too much too soon? That's what I thought. Look how sideways it was. I was killing it from 24 for a year,
Yeah. Just
and then
chop it, chop it, chop, and then rip.
took it away from me, and now I can't get back in it. But that's the weirdest looking pattern I've seen.
Yeah.
But if you do get put this one, which is one of the reasons I had it, is that dividend I think is pretty safe, and it's a fat one.
I mean, that was potentially the bottom. This potentially the first move up in the retrace. It has opportunity to go here. Oh, beautiful. This might be one you want to try to get back involved in
Okay. I
because
love it. I mean, you can
the
do a
next,
lot.
I was gonna say the next move might be right up in here.
I'd just die if that happened. This hold it forever and have it doing nothing, and then now this. Same thing happened to me with Lockheed Martin. Biggest dog in the doghouse, LMT.
Well,
I
this one's
wait, and it's off to the races.
this is indicating that we're about to 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 start something new here.
On the
And
upside,
the next resistance is going to be right up here at the 60s. It's about $10 higher. And if we clear that, we're setting up to go into like this neighborhood right up in here.
cool. I'll
So it's
pop it
not
up.
like I don't think it's just going to happen like next week. This is like
But
probably
see,
going to take a little while.
the yield is going to get cut in half if it did that, because the yield is probably close to 7 now. But if it doubles in price, that'd cut the yield down to 3.5%.
And you can see the climb schedule is probably more like this.
Out to 34.
Yeah, it could be like could take a little while to work its way up there. So it's
What's
opportunity for them to raise the dividends along the way too.
Yeah, that's a good point. What's the current yield here? This price.
Let's see what we got. Indicated 5.7% at
Mhm.
today's $49 price. Beta is really low though, so options gonna be
Yeah, I
hard to
know.
generate much premium on options.
That's why I had to sell them so far out, and then you get trapped in it.
I mean, as far as a dividend payer, that's a solid deal right there.
Solid deal.
Pays better than the treasuries.
Hmm.
You can possibly get some almost 3x on the upside, 200% gains, really. Wouldn't be bad.
No,
Might take a few years, next 10 years or so. I like it. It'd be one to if you're looking at something buy and hold, maybe sell some calls on, getting in with some puts. It's probably gonna be difficult. I mean, you could do it, but
it is difficult. That's why I say the calls I had to sell way out in time.
see what they got cooking here. Yeah, there's just no premium. Even though there's lots of options, there's no premium. You
Mhm.
almost have to be right at the money to get anything. And that is for tomorrow. Going out a week. Still to get your 40%, it's right at the money. No downside. Yeah, it's not really bad. It's just not a huge dividend payer, but if you can go way out in time though on your calls,
Mhm.
but they're not, again, they're not up above. You could be up above the breakout, those all-time highs, but you're gonna be sitting on it a long time and you're probably not gonna get paid very well. Back to this chart right here.
I didn't really cry about losing it, but
Yeah. Yeah. Now this is interesting. So usually we see the highest payers are right here, but this one actually showing 2 months out, which is probably right around where earnings are. Yeah, earnings coming up, and it's gonna take into account the earnings. So if you're gonna try to play 2 months out, 57 days right here, May, that's the sweet spot, is what it's saying on this chart right here. Right here.
I like Hood better.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna like for the pay, I mean, look at that, 28%. You're not gonna get very much
No.
right there. You know, you're gonna get paid much, much better messing with this one.
That's why sometimes it's just easier to take the premium from the triple income system and just straight out buy more dividend stocks.
Now, that one's got a high. out there 2 months, but this one's, still paying really well 1 week out. It's just, I look at it, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, so you got to have it spread around a little bit. The VZ does pay a high dividend, so if dividends are you're trying to build some dividends, you don't have to worry about it as much. VZ would be one to go after. There's different strokes for different folks.
Mhm.
I don't know what's right for you and your account. Just listening to me, I've got my picks, and a lot of them are down right now. I'm just sitting here working it out. We're probably gonna, my whole kind of premise right now is looking for this bottom in NASDAQ to occur. And then I think all the stuff I'm in is going to go ripping.
Mhm.
A couple people have been like, what are you doing? You're in this stuff. It's not performing. But also, the market has not been doing anything for almost 6 months now. So
It's been crazy,
trying to be bullish and pick bullish stocks in a market that does this
hard.
is a exercise in futility, is kind of what I've learned over the last almost 30 years of trading.
You get chewed up in this market. You buy it, it doesn't go up enough, doesn't go down enough, just sits there. Very, very tough. The directional trades are brutal in this market. But what's not brutal, and I think what may even be easier, is when you find a stock that's doing that same kind of thing and you can just use it as an asset to create cash flow.
Yeah, you listen to mainstream media right now, you'd think we were down like 30% in the market, in the biggest bear market we've ever had, but this has not done anything. It's just barely starting to peel back off the highs.
Yeah. It's shaken off all the war talk. It's shaken off oil prices. It's shaken off
Now,
tariffs.
the one thing I find interesting, the biggest indicator of what's going on is the Nike right here, a global liquidity indicator. And as this thing pulls back, we're seeing gold pull back, we're seeing Bitcoin pull back, we're seeing NASDAQ pull back. Risk on assets are pulling back as we see the Nike global liquidity pull back. You may be like, why is the Nike global liquidity? It all comes back to the trade that was in the news quite a bit back in 2024, the yen carry trade right here. It hiccuped back here and affected our markets. It hiccuped and this is something nobody talks about, it hiccuped again during the Liberation Day thing and exasperated the move down. And then we went on this giant rip, but we're due for a bigger correction again. And if it hiccups again, it pulls back. The mechanism here, people go borrow yen because it's cheap to borrow yen and they devalue it constantly. So super cheap to borrow yen and super cheap to pay the interest on it. You go take that yen, you roll it into like the Nike and get so that you don't, and when you're devaluing, at least kind of keep up. But then you also borrow against that and go buy assets, use it as collateral to buy assets that are going to outperform, like NASDAQ, S&P, US stock markets. You buy gold because it's been ripping. You buy Bitcoin because it's the riskiest of the risky. When it really hits, it hits. And you go pump that stuff into there. But the problem here, when your collateral drops suddenly, then you have to unwind this stuff. You have to sell your Bitcoin, sell your gold, sell your big tech, and go settle up with your margin call. And this is a bigger global liquidity kind of play that's out there. In fact, we just saw Warren Buffett, their Berkshire Hathaway, took and put a ton of money into this so that they could do the same thing. They went and bought a bunch of yen and started doing their carry trade themselves. So, yeah, it's just one of those mechanisms in the background, and I keep an eye on the Nike right here just to see. And right now we have it set up for potentially going lower. And that
Strange that Buffett would do that when he's got all the cash.
well, he took a big bag of cash and converted it to yen. But this can come right down in this 46, 47 area and create a bigger hiccup in our markets. So just something to keep an eye on right there. If you want to know why is Bitcoin down so much today? Why is gold down so much today? It's this. This being down is what's causing it right there. Because the dollar's down today too. Dollar's down, gold's down, Bitcoin's down, everything's down. That's all on the back of the Nike being down today. So that explains something to you and you're having a light bulb moment, let me know in the chat.
Yeah,
Oh,
light bulb moment. Thank you for explaining it. I never look at any of this stuff.
I mean, it's not like I don't know how you set up a trade, but it does show me that there's more potential downside right here because it does the same price patterns. It's like I knew Liberation Day was coming because this dropped suddenly and it didn't do it in what was a complete pattern. Then we came up, we hit this lower high and we parked there. And then when we broke lower right here, right there, I knew we were about to do a bigger flush.
It
And that's what we did.
failed to get over resistance right there.
It just happened that, everybody kind of blamed it on Trump, but it it did that same kind of breakdown as the bubble pattern. And we did this consolidation right there, sudden drop, consolidation. Then we did this next drop. The thing here, though, we just made a lower low and then we ripped from there. This actually made the lower low just slightly. Didn't draw it very straight. Put a straight line on there. Just slightly lower low. And then we went higher. So this was a big three-wave correction. And proportionally, top to bottom, from the top. And we didn't even get down to the proportion wise where I thought we might. We just satisfied it making a lower low, which is all we needed to do. And then rip off. It's kind of like NASDAQ right now. We did this initial drop back in Thanksgiving. We came up, we arced off. Now we're working on this, and we're probably going to make a lower low. That's same pattern in NASDAQ that we're working on right now. Just on a different chart. First drop, came up, arcing over, probably going to dip down before we can go higher. Same price pattern, just different chart. Blows a lot of people's minds that I can find these patterns just all over the place.
Yeah, mine.
I just see it. It's people are like, how'd you learn this? It's just like looking at charts over and over and over and trying to match.
Would you recommend somebody study Fibonacci?
I think it can be very advantageous, but I have a fib class that I don't even know if we still sell it right at the moment. Let me see. I have a fib class. I just cut out all the bullshit and get down to the nuts and bolts. What's actually going to help you make money? Let me see if let's see, forecast. Maybe. Trying to remember yeah, here it is. Oh, it's not currently offered. It pulled up and then went to sorry, this is not currently available. So, yeah, we don't currently sell it.
Well, that's weird. 'Cause I'm pretty sure we do.
If you call in, I think you can get it, but
This link actually works. If you click that link, it'll take you to the doors.
that's market roadmap. I'm talking about the fib class.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, fib class is a $99 thing, and it doesn't appear to actually be for sale at the moment. JeffreyTrader.com
That's
/
funny. Mike, I'm with you, man. I've been having. Do you guys have the new Zoom update yet for your computer?
I don't know. I might
What?
or might not.
Should have automatically updated for you. It's been giving a lot of problems. It's giving Mike problems too. It's been giving me and Deanna problems as well.
I mean, our Zoom kind of broadcasts over into the Wise Pub. So,
Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much for the viewers, but
mm,
Corning hanging in there.
yeah, what was that? GLW?
oh, is that why the market just pumped there, Mike? On some more news of the war ending.
Yeah, war ending, war not ending.
I know.
Iran fighting,
They're in
not
no
fighting.
rush to settle this war.
No, absolutely not. There's
Iran is the Mossad's playground. They're still testing out strategies and tricks and all kind of cool stuff over there. But nothing will ever top. I don't know if you guys remember the Stuxnet, Jeffrey. Do you remember that?
I need
When
more context.
God, God planted a thumb drive in a parking lot in Iran of where they work on the nuclear stuff.
Oh,
No, if they dropped the thumb drive in the parking lot, an employee would pick it up in the parking lot and take it in and plug it into one of the computers in there to put music on it and take it home and stuff like that. And as soon as they plugged it in, that Stuxnet thing went and infected all that Iranian computer system and took it down. And that was one of the things Mossad called low tech, high concept. They took the whole thing out just by dropping. That's smart, man. They're scary smart, those dudes. Imagine that. Let's drop this thumb drive, knowing someone's going to pick it up, plug it in, and ruin their own thing.
I just want to see
So
what's on it. I just want to see what's on it.
they're in no hurry to end this thing because they're still testing a lot of stuff out, testing out new tricks, weapons, tactics. Same with Trump. I mean, they could end it. He could end it in 10 minutes from now if he wanted to. It doesn't want to. And the market shrugged it off, right? People aren't worried about a war. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
think
they're,
about it. Like we've had these F-22s for a couple decades, and this military action right here is the first time we ever deployed them.
yeah. First time they sunk a ship with a submarine since World War II.
Yeah. So they're out there playing.
In no hurry. Playing around, man. They're testing stuff out. Let's try this, let's try that, see if this works.
So anyway, it sounds like serious business. It is serious business, but it's also they're they're playing a little bit. I do admit I think that's 100% the truth that they're testing stuff out, playing around, seeing what's up.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah, they don't want to kill them accidentally too soon. They got to drag this thing out a little bit and get their boys and their toys all sharpened up, as Mike in St. Louis says. Yeah, I'd love to see that country really take itself back over and the people come back and take it back. That'd be an amazing thing for them. It was a great place before 79.
Let's see what's on PXO. What do you say, Jack? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
let me
Keep
log
going.
in.
Fly's doing good. Hood's holding in there.
Let's refresh, reload.
It'd be
That's what
great to
like
see Iran go to democracy. That'd be amazing for that part of the world. MRAM, nothing's happening with MRAM, Mike. It's just doing absolutely nothing. But I'm still selling
absolutely
calls
nothing.
against it. I'm long it.
Only
Long it.
three things on here. There we go. A few more things. So FedEx, you could be all the way down here. You get 30% ROI. Let's pump that up to
Now, where it
30.
says place order down there in the stock number one, if you hit that place order button over there, yeah, would that, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything connected, so
I connected Schwab, so I want to see how it works. Didn't seem like it was working, but
yeah. Right now they only let you connect one broker, and it's like I have a Tasty Trade, I have an E Trade, I have a Schwab, I have. We got like all these. So, um, yeah. Right now, you can only hook one broker at a time to it. That was a. We'll think about changing that in the future.
Oh, yeah.
So FedEx, yeah, look at that 40% ROI.
How
Could be
far
down
out?
at could be down at a 305 for tomorrow.
Dang. For 40% on a 305,
That's what it says.
and the current price is 340.
Yeah, earnings are today.
It won't matter. You're too far out at 305. Jeez, oh criminy.
Yeah,
That's a
the expected move is only down to 320. So you could be down 40% ROI, 1 day exposure. I mean, this is a pretty
how
good one
far
if
out
you got the
of money is
money.
that on a percentage basis?
What is that? What?
How far out of the money is that on a percentage basis, the 305 from where it is right now?
It's 12% out of the money.
Dang, I
And
love
this thing
that
even calculates it like drop percent, like how much? 12% shows you right there.
stung. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I might have to add this one. I'm not gonna do the VZ. Um, I'll probably do this one later today.
Man, that's a 1 day burn right there because you got earnings tonight,
I'll take a
and
shot.
that could just be extra cash. I mean, just cha-ching right there.
I love it when it's right at 42. There's 40 exactly. And that's how part of what we were going to talk about today was how much should you target return on every trade? That's one of the questions people think, what stock, what strike, what expiration, and what's my goal? So for us, we got it kind of backwards. We let this thing tell us what is the 40% trade, and then we take that trade because the 40% is the number we're going for to keep the challenge rolling.
It's
Where
sustainable. It's not that risk. It's relatively low risk going for
I,
40% on wheel trades.
we're
Now,
confident,
that's not universal. Like you can be like on Verizon, going for 40% on something that just doesn't pay much is kind of risky. I mean, when you don't have I typed in V instead of VZ.
beta. That's the problem. You got to have a little beta.
Yeah, we need some beta. And that's one thing that's not in here. Like they don't have beta is not something that you can scan by. Mm, mm, mm.
And that's why some of these are better than others. Hood, it's easier to get 40% and be out of the money. FDX, here you just saw FedEx, you can be out of the money and still get 40%.
See, this one doesn't even say there's a put that you could sell for 40%.
Mm-mm.
It says nothing really available. But that FedEx
That's pretty
was
good.
was juicy.
Yeah, that's juicy. That's why I'm going to do it. How about Corning? I haven't really laid into Corning, but 40%. Also, if you guys are following challenge, 1.6 million at 40% annual is 50,000 a month.
Yeah. So if you have an account that has $1.6 million, which seems like a lot, may take you a few years to get there, but when you get to that point, if you're going for 40% ROI, you can generate 50,000 a month in capital reliably. I mean,
Pay
it's just
yourself. That's a huge thing is you have in this game of trading, you have got to reward yourself. You've got to pay yourself. So, before you get there, if you want to wait till you get there, you're going to still pay yourself 50,000 every month. And in the meantime, pay yourself something, even if it's $10. Pay yourself first. Don't pay the credit card company before you pay yourself. Don't pay the car payment before you pay yourself. Pay yourself first. And when you get it up, maybe you want 10 grand a month. Maybe you want five. Maybe you want a grand. But just pay yourself every month. And it's easier to pay yourself every month with this system than any other system out there. That's why I'm doing it and paying myself.
and for people that don't believe it can happen, like this is why I have it publicly tracked and everything right here.
Yeah.
Because over the last year, I've gone from just making when Jack and I started the show, I was only making what, 3 grand a month last
Yep.
summer in this
Yep.
account. And now here we are with my 1 month profit sitting at 19 grand.
Okay. I got to share something with you. I've been super reluctant to do this.
You need to share the screen.
I've
Yeah,
been very reluctant to do it.
give you the share screen share.
Okay.
I'll allow it. That's okay.
So this right here, Bobby.
Look at it. Look at her. Jack's doing this too, everybody. It's not
Yeah.
just me.
So 33, 497 total. This will be my not my first $50,000 month ever by a long shot, but with this system, it probably will be. Knock on wood, I'm not there yet, but loving
Yeah,
it.
I love it, man. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, this is all thanks to you, me taking on your challenge and modifying it to fit my style.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. You called it a choose your own adventure one time when we were getting started, and I thought, that's exactly what this is. As long as, we share the same principles and concepts, and everybody should have that part down, but then modify it for what you like to do, right? I like tech, I like vert, I like trends, I like beta, more higher price stuff, and I just modified it to work for me, and it's been awesome, man. It's been awesome. So I got to thank you for giving me this challenge and letting me modify it, because I think everybody should do this. It's one of the most fun, profitable things I'm doing.
Well, great work, Jack. Good job. I mean, it does, you've been at this a long time, but it does take patience, discipline, effort, and paying attention. I mean, focus. Here's mine right here, just showing off the month. This is
Yeah.
all the accounts I track in here, not just one. This is the whole set of them.
So you're at
I'm
21. That's hot, man. You're
Yeah,
almost
this is
50, you're going to be over 50%, over 50%. I'm sure you'll finish the month over 25. So you'll be halfway there in less than a year.
check out this quarter. Look at this. The trend is
Sweet,
definitely hot here.
sweet. Yeah. Yeah. Dang, dude, 25,000 a month. Are you going to take any? So,
Look at look at this. Last month was 23, almost 24.
okay,
And this
so
month I'm at
yeah,
21. And I've still got a week and a half left or whatever.
love it. Now you're going to take a little cheese for yourself, move it over to the checking account.
So I have two accounts going on here. Let me show off this one account. Like the 50K challenge account's the one I show off all the time on the show here. But check this out. Let me load this up. I show off that Tasty Trade account
Mhm.
all the time. That's where I pull up the options and stuff like that. Let me click on the year to date here. Look at this. This is not the 50K challenge account.
Whoa,
Look at that.
what are you doing with this? What strategy are you doing in here?
Basically just the beer money trade.
Hey, that's a hellacious growth
Mm.
curve.
Look at that. Beautiful. Like $23,000 on a $57,000 account. I mean, it's like up 50% for the year, right? Already.
That's having a system that works and working the system and staying within your rules. Great job there, man. That's disciplined approach right there, folks. Anybody
Man,
would love that, right?
it's just climbing.
So
Like I don't know why it's being kind of weird here. There's the whole year. Year to
yeah,
date, right
shoot for
there.
40%, and when you do that, it can magically turn into more than 40%.
So coming into the year, I had 35,000 in this account. Haven't added anything to it. Just consistently booking profits every day. Same principle in the 50K challenge account. And now it's up to 57 with $23,000 year to date. And that's on top of the 50K challenge account right here that's up. Oh, my mouse goofing up here. Year to date, 34,000, almost 35,000. So all in all, add those two together, I'm up like $50,000, 50 whatever thousand, almost $60,000 this year,
Love
3 months in.
ask me if I do only the wheel or do I have something like the beer money trade. I mostly do the wheel. I have something like the beer money trade. I do credit spreads all the time. Love, love, love doing that. And I sometimes take a directional trade on Tesla using a debit spread. And every now and then I'll find something to short. And rarely do I take a directional, just trade on a long position. Mostly wheel. I just love cash flow trades. So in addition to the wheel, which is all cash flow, the other only one outside of that that's a cash producing trade is a credit spread.
See,
And
I've
that's
got that Tasty account in here. Like it does add in. So when I pull this up and look at the year to date, $63,000. That's that Tasty account, the Robinhood account, which is the 50K challenge account, a couple of my IRAs. So all that stuff's in here.
love it.
And doing wheel in this account, this account, this account, this account. Actually, in the Tasty trade account, I have a couple wheel trades going. They're just not very big. And then this account, I do wheel trades. So um, all in
Very
all,
few,
60,
you know, very little directional trading.
almost no directional trading. So that's, I mean,
Yeah, and in addition to that, I build I got two things going on. I build a dividend portfolio, and I've got a buy and hold portfolio on tech that I love it. So I add to that, I add to the dividend portfolio, and everything I do, this is the engine that pulls the train. So, you make 50 grand a month, maybe you can't spend it. You spend part of it on more dividend stocks. Eventually, just total passive income. But yeah, that's it. Most of it is cash flow trades for me. That's where the money resides. I could be doing directionals, which I used to do only trying to go long, only long, few shorts. Didn't work out nearly as well as this is the most profitable thing going.
and somebody was in here a couple days ago and they were like, right when we were wrapping up, and they were like, why don't you do directional trades? Um, you made all your money during COVID on directional trades. COVID was a special event and it lasted a very short duration.
It's true. We'll
Um,
probably never see anything that good again.
I may never. I'm gonna have $1 million day one of these days, and we'll see how I get there. It's in my like, if you want to call it a vision board or my affirmations. I'm going to have $1 million day sometime down the road.
Wow, that's a big
But
day. The
yeah,
biggest day, 156.
the biggest day I had during COVID was 856,000.
Damn,
But it was
that's a
followed right up with a $380,000 loss day. So
Yeah, the 156, that wasn't on one trade. That was just the value of my portfolio went up that day that much.
and overall, since I started tracking with this PXO software, $132,000 across these, what, 6 accounts? One, two, three, four, 5 accounts. And then I have my wife's account and a couple other little accounts that I don't track in here.
Yeah,
So,
Susan Rockwell, I did enter trades that I found that I didn't enter that were months back that I missed. I was telling Jeffrey my thing was all whacked out and my PXO was not reporting correctly, and I found a bunch of trades that I had missing data, stuff like that. So today being March 19th, if you found a trade that you did on February 1st and you entered that in the Rockwell Susan, it would automatically put itself in the proper order. You just hit refresh and your back entered trades will go into the correct order.
in case anybody needs/wants that to grab the Rockwell PXO software that at a discount, I give you a discount. I get a little cheese off of it too if you use my link. I'll throw that in the chat. And then I think Blake has I do directional trades, and I have a system that finds them automatically. And Blake's gonna play the replay for that
Yeah,
right
and
now.
the
Absolutely.
thing you guys should know is when I do take a directional trade, it's a much smaller percentage allocation than what I lay into here. 150,000, use that to secure puts, that's no problem. But I'd never put 150,000 into a directional trade ever. That'd be
Yeah, I mean, well, I did during COVID because I was pretty sure on what the outcome was going to be.
yeah, yeah, unique
But
Yeah.
situation.
It's a certain
that
strategy that
that
denotes.
that that opportunity was a short duration, and when it was over, I knew it was over because it hit my profit targets. I closed everything out and was back on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe tomorrow I bring that up and just talk through the volatility trades I did. What do you think, Jack? Should we do that?
I think we should do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it, and we'll talk about how I made all the money during COVID.
Fascinating story. Yeah. Especially you got to put it in context how big that was for you relative to your whole financial situation prior to
Oh,
that. That's
yeah, that's kind of like it was the life-changing moment in my trading.
love to hear that. Love to hear that in the stock market, how the stock market can change your life. So we'll save that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
For
tomorrow. Yeah.
Be a good one.
St.
Hey,
Louis.
share your story, Jeffrey. It's a good one. I'd love to hear it again. He's got a podcast on it too. So if you guys are
Yeah.
interested in that, I'm sure Jeffrey could
Yeah,
send it your way.
I'll bring up podcast link. I'll bring everything tomorrow. So make sure you come
Okay.
back tomorrow and see us. And I'll throw this stuff in the chat, and I'll put together a little presentation, kind of like how I went from just being a dude that makes less than 40,000 a year. How COVID changed my life,
Cool.
got me where I am. So
Very inspiring as well, folks.
Absolutely.
all right,
if you guys are ready,
let's play this presentation.
let's do it. All right, guys. Any questions? Just let me know. This is a good one. You don't want to miss it.
I'd get this 2,434 trade signals with an average hold time of 3 days on the underlying stock. And what you'll see today is an internal audit that took these real issued trade alerts and applied them a set of options criteria to them, meaning each option gain is hypothetical and uses the benefit of hindsight. We cannot guarantee any specific future results as there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading.